Hello, my name is Sandra. A good afternoon to you all from Forest City, Iowa. I am in my element right now, enjoying camping with my husband out in nature. I start my first job in many years tomorrow, June 1st, working as a Life Connections Peer Support Coordinator. I am a RAP co-facilitator and was introduced to RAP in July of 2020. I will be giving you an overview of RAP. RAP is a wellness recovery action plan for anyone who experiences mental health issues and also for those people who love and support them. RAP is an evidence based, simple, and safe self help strategy and guide to daily living and recovery. Developed by Mary Ellen Copeland, a woman with lived experience. Her doctors gave her no hope of ever getting any better and possibly even worse. She decided she would send out surveys to people struggling with mental issues to find out how they were coping to help herself, to find out what they were doing to regain control of their lives. So, what she found out from those surveys of people who were recovering was that they were getting well, they were getting their lives back, and they were living their lives as they wanted. Out of those surveys came the 5 key concepts, which has been a constant in RAP since it was developed in 1997. The 5 key concepts are hope, personal responsibility, education, self advocacy, and support. So let's begin with hope. To me, hope means that I can be well and stay well with a brand new focus on my recovery. I realize that a lot of fulfilled and happier life is very much achievable. Hope is vital in recovery. When you can have hope, you can work towards meeting personal goals. Also, there is much research now that proves that people with mental health challenges can and do get well, stay well, and can live a happy and fulfilled life. As a person with a lifelong as a person with lifelong mental challenges and addictions, I know what it feels like to lose hope. When you have tried everything the doctors, the psychiatrists, therapists suggested, and nothing seems to work, it's easy to lose hope. I found hope again when I began seeing a therapist after many years that was trained in trauma. I remember him saying, Sandra, the answers lie in what's happened to you, not in what's wrong with you. And he was the one that told me about the Iowa Peer Support Specialist training, and that he thought that I would be excellent at it, and that he would also give a reference for me. So I filled out the application. Then I found the RAP class for the next RAP class, and I believe it started July 31st of 2020. And that's when I started putting all of the pieces together. I had been doing research on my illnesses and stuff probably the last 2 or 3 years. But that's whenever I started RAP and started reading about RAP, I was no longer looking for that magic cure or a magic pill. The second one was personal responsibility. To me, personal responsibility is knowing that I am an expert on myself. I know what I want in my life, so it's totally up to me to create what it is that I want. If my wellness is meant to be, then it's completely up to me. So there is no one who can do it for me. The third one is education. I had to educate myself, mostly on me. I had to educate myself in every aspect of my life. My treatment, my lifestyle, my career or lack thereof, my relationships, and I had to take personal inventory of what was working for me and what was not working for me. And then I had to decide how badly I wanted to get better and ask myself a very hard question. Am I willing to put in the work and the time to get better? I knew it was simple, but that it would be far from easy. So everyone, if it were, everyone would have already done it. So there is, I know there is more than one way to recovery. There are options, and I was ready to take this opportunity to learn even more about myself. Recovery is a journey of big steps, baby steps, and maybe even a few steps backwards. But you just keep on going. The fourth one, self advocacy, truly is a part of empowerment, which is nothing more than learning to take care of yourself every hour of every day. Once you begin to take an active role in everything that you do or that happens to you, you will become more aware. With awareness comes insight. Insight, which allows you to grow and mature. If I know the problems that I have, I also need to find out what exasperates them, what's bad for me, and what I need to avoid. Also, I need to know what's truly important to me in my life and the things that are good for me. When you can believe in yourself and learn to stand up for yourself, you are also raising your self esteem. And that is only possible when you realize that you are a unique and deserving individual, worthy of all that is good when you love yourself. Mary Ellen Copeland said also, "It wasn't until I realized that it was up to me, that there was no magic cure, that I began to look to recovery in a new way." And that was the same for me. Self advocacy is the last one, or the fourth one, is taking back my power and realizing my voice matters. And the last is support. Support is crucial to my wellness as well as anyone else's. A structured support system with people that I trust to have my back, with whom I have contact with, is absolutely essential to my wellness and my recovery. We need support and to be able to trust those individuals. Now I'm going to go on with the first part of WRAP, which is the wellness toolbox. Making your wellness toolbox is the first thing you need to do. It's a list of things that will help you feel well and stay well. They are simple, safe, and free. When Mary Ellen was first working with a group of women on the plan, she noticed that there were a lot of things they did to feel well. Some of those common wellness tools included, like, focus on the positive instead of the negative, journaling your feelings, eating correctly, light therapy, exercise. But your wellness toolbox is not like everyone else's. You decide what works for you, what doesn't. It's always changing and ever expanding. These wellness tools are actions, behaviors, and activities that you do. They're what you're going to follow up with to stay well. A key question to ask yourself when developing your wellness toolbox is, what helps me feel better? For me, I feel better whenever I walk. When I walk every day, when I shower, brush my teeth, when I eat a good breakfast. That's a good start for my day. And I drink lots of water. Also, going to bed and getting up at the same time every day. That's a very important wellness tool for me. The next part of the WRAP plan is the daily maintenance plan. There are 3 parts to the daily maintenance plan. The first part is, what am I like when I am well? If you are just beginning to work on your recovery, you want to keep your list short. You may use things like smile at one person, walk around the block, eat a piece of fruit, just simple. Remember, small steps make the journey. As you start feeling better, you can add more. This should be done when you are feeling at your best, when you're feeling well. You can use one descriptive words like when I'm well, I'm talkative, I'm happy, I'm energetic, comfortable, quiet, uh, or talkative, or sincere, funny, I'm responsible. Just list things that people can see and know by reading that you are well. I have found this to be extremely useful. It's the one that I go to often if I'm feeling out of sorts. A check in, asking myself when I am feeling out of sorts, did I do this today? Your daily maintenance plan will change over time, and as you recover and continue to learn new strategies for staying well. The second part of the maintenance plan is a list of things that I need to do every day to stay well. That's pretty much your daily maintenance plan. You can write these down on a small notebook. They have little crisis wrap plan workbooks, whatever works the best for you. You can make out your own notebook, or what I use the most often is the Wrap Plan app. And majority of people always have their phones, so it's all right there in one place. The third part of the daily maintenance plan is what I need to do on any certain day to stay well. Instead of always some tasks, try and include things that you love. These don't have to be done every day, but there are things that if you don't do them, they could have a negative impact on your well-being. Examples like you don't pay bills every day, but they need to be done. So you need to make sure those are done. Paying your bills, watering your plants, cleaning, doing laundry, getting groceries, maybe seeing your therapist, but also include things that you enjoy doing. Have a happy day. Go to a movie, go to the beach, get a massage. The next part of doing your wrap is, it's called triggers, stressors. Everybody pretty much knows what those are. But triggers are external. They're upsetting events or circumstances which are uncomfortable. These are things that you don't expect and have no control over. They're different for everyone. Different kinds of triggers or stressors may affect you differently. Some people may experience anxiety, panic, discouragement, despair. The reactions are normal, but if you don't deal with them, they may cause you to feel worse, developing into where you have to deal with some detrimental effects to your own well-being. I find that when I am triggered, I look at the feeling and think about the feeling associated with the trigger rather than who did it, or if I did it, whatever the feeling. If I'm feeling anxious because I have so much to do, I know what helps me. I know that if I meditate and I do some deep breathing, that helps me. Whenever you have the trigger stressors, you also have to have a trigger stressor action plan. And in your action plan, you want to write down events or circumstances that, if they were to happen, they may produce reactions that are uncomfortable and may be upsetting to you. The list from your wellness toolbox can be very helpful for you to implement when you encounter those triggers or stressors. They can help you work your way through a difficult time, and you can avoid the repercussions like severe anxiety, sadness, hospitalization. One example for me is like if I'm working and working and working, and the computer breaks down, and I'm getting all stressed out, and I have to walk away. Uh, or if I'm watching TV and it brings up something from my past, um, it can trigger something. Or an anniversary of the death of my mother or brother or loved one. I know those days come around, but to be prepared for those when they do. And when you review your daily action plan, you will become more and more aware as they happen and become more familiar with the actions that you will take. You learn through each one. The early warning signs, the third section of the wrap, is early warning signs and your action plan. These are all internal. They're internal signs that you notice when you're starting to feel bad. You don't always know why, you just know that they're there. You feel them. Despite your despite your best intention to your daily maintenance plan and reducing your reactions to triggers, you still may begin to experience early warning signs. Well, these early warning signs, they indicate a need for further action. What are your early warning signs? Some of mine are avoiding others, isolating, not wanting to answer the phone, extreme sadness, smoking too much. Those, if you see those going on in my life, you know that there's something going on. So my next step is to create an early warning signs action plan. So here I will do some of the activities to help myself feel better and avoid feeling worse. Some examples of those are I will talk to my cousin, who is a very good supporter of mine. I will talk to my husband. I will do things. I will look at my daily maintenance plan and do things on there, even if I don't feel like it. Um, Even if I don't feel like it, the reason being is because I've developed this plan, I have it written out, and I've given it to my supporters so that they could say, here, well, this is what you need to do. So therefore, it's in my writing. I have to do it. If I truly want to get better, I do it. And then I do at least 2 to 3 10-minute relaxation exercises. I'll do some meditation or do something that makes me happy. I might call my 21-year-old daughter and talk with her and laugh. Another thing that I do is I'll write in my journal, sometimes just about what I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll understand it, sometimes I won't. The fourth section of wrap is it's when things are breaking down and the action plan. So in this part, you want to make a list of those things that for me mean things have worsened and I might be close to a crisis. What makes this different is the intensity, the duration, and other signs that may be appearing. This section is as close as you can get to a crisis without actually being in a crisis. But when you can identify the signs in the breaking down section and take action, you can avert a possible crisis. Use your wellness tools. They can help. They can help you work your way back to your wellness and keep you from going into a crisis. So the next part is identifying when things are breaking down. And when this part comes up, you can tell by your thoughts, your feelings, and behaviors that are distracting and are very uncomfortable. Examples of when things are breaking down. Some people resort to substance abuse. They don't care anymore. They take their angers out on other people. They feel paranoia. They have thoughts of self-harm, racing thoughts, ruminating thoughts, or disassociation. And some people are unable to sleep. So when things are breaking down, action plan, what you want to do is you want to write. If any of these signs come up, I will, like all caps, I will do all of the activities listed on this page to avoid a crisis. And because you wrote it out, this plan is yours, and it should have few choices and clear, be very clear with your directions. The goal for this is to reduce and receive and relieve, reduce and relieve your symptoms. When they have progressed to this point, it's very important to have clear instructions about the steps to take, because at this time you can still help yourself. The sample plan would be, if I notice these signs that things are breaking down, and then and there's forms in the book, and then there's a blank line. It's like, I will do the following until I am no longer showing signs that things are breaking down. The next part of RAP is developing a crisis plan, an advance directive. This is a plan you develop by yourself, or you can also develop it with the assistance of someone else. It instructs others on how to provide you with the care and support that you need when you're having a difficult time. There's no questions, it's all there. It's a crisis. It's a time when you cannot take care of yourself, or you can't make decisions on your own behalf. So the sections of the RAP crisis plan are, there's 10 sections. The first one is what I'm like when I'm feeling well. So you want to really elaborate on that so that they can get a sense of how you are when you are feeling your best. And make sure you make it really clear and concise, because they need to know what you're like when you're well. Section 2 is indicators, that if I'm showing indicators that I need help from others. So some of those would be, okay, if I'm starting to isolate, if I'm not answering my phone or not wanting to talk to anybody. And then section 3 is who takes over and who doesn't. Because there are going to be people that, you can love them, but you don't want them to be in any part of this, possibly because they may overreact. You just make sure you write down who you want, what they do, and who you don't want. And then section 4 is about medications. Well, you know yourself better than anyone. You've probably been on medications, and you know the ones that will help and those that do not. So you want to make sure you list on that section 4, the medications that you've maybe taken in the past that don't help. So that, even the hospitals can see this and no, that's not what works. And then section 5 is about the treatments that help you and the treatments that don't. And usually you've tried a whole lot of stuff, so you know what can and won't. Like, for instance, there's a big one like the ECT, I think that's what it's called. Well, some people are just totally against that. But some people have been through it enough that they may want that. But just be very concise and as to what you do want and you don't want. And then we come section 6 is, maybe home, community, a respite house. Some people, rather than, and this is where you would put this, rather than hospitalizations, and they've been there, done that, they don't want to go back, but maybe they would want somebody to come in and stay with them for a few days, or possibly you could go stay with somebody else for a few days and they could help you out. It's just being very clear about what you want and what you think will help you and what won't. Section 7 is about acceptable and unacceptable treatment facilities. And there again, you may have been in some that weren't helpful and some that are. So you want to list those. And then Section 8, there are things that others can do that would help and things that will not help. So you want to make sure you list all of those things. Sometimes people like somebody to come in and tell them jokes, make them laugh, and then some people, if you're not one of those, you may put no. Maybe you just want somebody to listen, just to listen. Let me vent. Listen. Just make your needs well known. Section 9 goes into chores that need to be taken care of, things that you haven't been able to do but if you don't have them done when you're coming out of your crisis, it can send you right back into one because it can be so overwhelming because those things have not been done. And then Section 10 is when the crisis plan is no longer needed. Having a crisis plan keeps you in control, even if it feels like you are out of control. So the people don't have to try and figure out what you need. You already have it written out, what you need to feel safe, and what you need that will help you recover more quickly. So without a crisis plan or an advance directive, well-meaning people may step in and see that you're struggling and do things that you would not want them to do. So make sure it's very clear, easy to understand, and legible. And then we have the post-crisis plan. And the post-crisis plan is very important because people need to know that you're able to resume your responsibilities. Well, how are they going to know that you're able to resume your responsibilities? It may be that okay, now I'm sleeping at least 6 hours a night, or I'm exercising, I'm getting up in the morning, I'm eating a good breakfast. Maybe those are some signs that they could see and see that you're on your way to recovery. Some people cannot just resume normal activities immediately after hospitalization. It honestly, some people come out and think, well, I'll go right back to work, and it can set you right back into the hospital. So as Mary Ellen says, it can take as long to recover from a mental health crisis as it could to recover from any other illness or hospitalization. And during those physical problems that you have, it takes time and you need assistance and support. And that support can gradually be reduced as you start to feel better. So you use your daily maintenance plan list as a guide. That's what I do. I go back to my guide, and that shows everything on there that I do when I'm well. So RAP works if you work it, and it's been a life changer for me. And the part that really helped me was the hardest, was taking responsibility for my own life. But I'm doing it, and you can too. Thank you.